Welcome back, everyone, to Phil's Recap and Review. Quantum Leap, the entire series, recap and review, or basically my thoughts on Quantum Leap. Welcome back, everybody. This is the first time I've done something like this. I wanted to do something like this last year, but time really got hectic. I want to go over some of my favorite series in more of a general way, where I just talk about some of the things I really loved about them. Basically explain what the hell it is to some people that might be like, Quantum Leap, what the shit is that? I thought that was just a skit on one of the late night shows. I don't know what the hell that is. So I'll explain to you guys what Quantum Leap is, all of that sort of stuff, what I love about it, what didn't so much hold up on a recent rewatch that I did of it. There's a couple things here and there. And we'll get into all of that and more. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Phil. I'm here. I can't believe I'm in this room. The last couple of live streams that we've done, I've done while sitting on the couch, and it's kind of a different vibe. Now I'm sitting back here looking right into your eye. I'm going to be talking about some fucking Quantum Leap here. I can't wait. And people are like, Quantum Leap? What the shit is that, Phil? But I am not alone. Coming in and out throughout this stream, I will have some of my friends in the motherfucking chat. Whenever you're watching this, whatever point in time you happen to see this, please check in. And if you've seen Quantum Leap, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. You can always call in and leave voicemails or call in during live shows at 781-990-8509. That number will work all the time as long as Google Voice exists. When Google Voice eventually falls down and explodes or something like that, then maybe it might not exist anymore. But for the most part, it will exist for eternity. Eternity! And not the He-Man land. I'm talking about forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Oh, goodness me. So here we are today, or here I am, to talk about some Quantum Leap. Yes, Sprawler. Quantum fucking Leap. People, no one's searching Quantum Leap, so we might not have a lot of guests. There's no one doing Google searches right now, most likely, about Quantum Leap at the moment. So this is something I'm more doing for me more than any other reason, because I need to go over some of my favorite series. Some of these kind of favorite series podcasts will have other guests. Joe might join us later, or maybe on the 24-hour stream or some other later time. Him and Stephanie and some other people can share their thoughts about what they think about Quantum Leap. But I'm basically just going to give my thoughts, my experience. It's something I watched when I was a lot younger, something I was way into. Enough of this bullshit. What the hell is it? Reading from the Wikipedia, Quantum Leap is an American science fiction TV series, originally aired on NBC for 5 seasons. I would say 4 seasons and then a half a season of crap trying to grab some ratings. Not that I didn't like the last season, but we'll get into that a little bit. The last season made a couple of changes to the base rules of the universe just for entertainment purposes, just to bring in some celebrity kind of things, historical figures maybe that we know. They changed the theme song, all of that sort of stuff that messed around with that final season for me anyways. Well, the show started in late 80s. It's legitimately as late in the 80s as you can get. It started in, well, not as late. It started in March of 1989 and then went through May of 1993. It was created by this guy, Donald P. Bellisario. And this fucker, this guy, he's the reason why, to anyone that's a Quantum Leap fan, it's probably that guy's fault. No, it's probably not his fault. I'm blaming people that don't deserve to be blamed. He's going to be, so someone did a Quantum Leap podcast? That's my baby. And he's going to check this out now. 3 seconds into the podcast, I'm like, I blame you. But I have to blame you because at least lip service, Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell have both said since the series ended that they'd be into doing a movie or any sort of continuation onto the series, because the series, okay, there's going to be a couple spoilers here, but this isn't the normal kind of show in the sense of when I'm talking about Quantum Leap, where there's spoilers, but there's spoilers in the way of it being a late 80s, early 90s hour drama. Television was not the same back then. Stories weren't as important. Checks and balance didn't happen as well to make sure that the stories were completely tight and every piece of the universe made sense. Continuity wasn't the biggest issue on television at the time period, to the sense of watching it week to week. It's almost like every television show reset the deck every week And Quantum Leap was the perfect vehicle for that because it was a different story every week. And again, let me get into it. If people don't know what the fuck Quantum Leap is, I'll get into it. Yes, the king of the Northeast is here to talk to you about Quantum Leap. So yes, it's an American science fiction show with Donald P. Bellisario starring Scott Bakula, fucking Scott Bakula, as Dr. Sam Beckett. He's somebody that leaps through time, and he basically, this is where it gets weird if you've never heard, he takes the place of other people in order to correct mistakes. It's different than some other time travel things where in most time travel stories, it's like, don't mess with the past. It might screw things up. Quantum Leap encouraged messing with the past. It was all about Sam Beckett. Basically, it was the consciousness that time traveled. His consciousness went into, or he went into another body. Bodies switched. And then people would see, he would be jumping into me. Let's imagine Sam Beckett jumped into me. You guys can all see me. Everyone can see me, but I'm really someone else. I'm some dude that just got a fucking haircut. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he travels through space-time in an experiment in time travel. He's one of the most intelligent, supposed to be one of the most intelligent people in the world, tried to do this big experiment that the government wouldn't back him up to do the experiment, so he kind of did it on his own, which ultimately led to him trying a machine for himself that sent him back in time to leap from place to place. For contextual agreement, this is basically how every episode of Quantum Leap started.
Theorizing that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished.
Oh my goodness. And then
he woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own.
Not his own.
And driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al.
Now, Al is one of those characters that probably couldn't exist nowadays because Al is I was talking to Stephanie about it. I was like, oh, what do you think? We just watched Quantum Leap. Think about it. She said, oh, awesome series. Didn't really like the ending of it. And I really care about Sam Beckett. I really give a shit about Scott Bakula's character, what happened to him. I want to know ultimately his destiny. I wanted him to get home because the whole thing, we'll get to this in a second. The whole thing is about him getting home. Then there's Al. Al is a character of the era of the late 80s, early 90s. Hilarious. One of my favorite characters. But he is a lecherous, dirty, fucking... Several times in the series, he's a hologram or he's a real person that's being projected as a hologram. He'll be a hologram in a room with a naked woman. He always encourages Sam to have sex with as many people as he wants. Always talking about all of his sexual conquests and that sort of stuff. I just fucking love this show. Lab, great to see you. I know some of the people that check out this channel, most of our Game of Thrones, Walking Dead people, might be like, what the fuck is Quantum Leap? If you haven't seen the series before, it's a fun series, but it is definitely dated too. You watch it now, certain modern tropes of television aren't quite there, but this show makes me so freaking happy. The theme song makes me happy. The vibe makes me happy. Al, in his lecherous ways, makes me happy as a character. Is a good counterpoint for Sam. Him and Sam are... I won't go as far to say that they're the odd couple. I think that's an overstated thing. Like, oh, these two characters, they're somewhat different. They're like the fucking odd couple. He's not quite like the odd couple, but they have very different philosophies the way they go through life. And their counterpoint between the two of them is one of the things that makes the series really what it is. Also, the fact that a week-to-week show, instead of having to forcibly make things week to week, in the basic subtext of the show and in the core building blocks of the show, they set up why it's okay for them to do that every week. Unlike some shows, and this happens a lot nowadays when you get into procedurals, show like, what was that show with Josh Holloway a couple of years ago? Was it Intelligence? Is that what it was called? It shows that try to do the simultaneous thing. They try to go week to week and reset the deck every week and have an overarching storyline. It doesn't work when you try to do that. Quantum Leap was very much one of the best shows to ever do that because the nature of it was that every time Sam leaps, he gets amnesia. So Al needs to remind him what's going on. Every time he leaps, he's in a completely different place with a completely set of new different characters. So it allowed you to get to see so many young actors that are very famous and very successful now, both in television and in films, be on the show in different ways because they were always cycling through for a new cast. So if this week you didn't like some of the supporting players because Sam was a baseball player this week, and you see him interacting with all the players because it was a Bull Durham episode, basically. It would take different movies and different things that were popular in the mainstream, and then it would do an episode on them. Like when Bull Durham was famous, did a baseball episode. There's a Tootsie episode where I think he dresses up like a Tootsie-like character. There's Geraldo is famous, and he plays a Geraldo-like character in an episode too. He plays Dr. Ruth in an episode. There's all sorts of weird stuff that they did with it. But it really set itself up excellently for week to week, which makes it interesting on a rewatch in the sense that there's also an overarching storyline of will Sam get to go home? And the stories intersect in a really good way, and they make references to past stories. So it kind of was, at the time, one of the first shows, or at that foundation point, with shows like St. Elsewhere as well, that did this excellently too. And even though I wasn't a huge St. Elsewhere fan, it really established this kind of storytelling until you got around to shows like Oz and eventually The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, those shows of the world, even Lost and Heroes and Prison Break. When you were this era of television, everything was week to week. You need to set the deck. Every episode, you need to make it like no one had ever watched your show before. Great to see you, Mo. Lab says, I vaguely remember it. I remember seeing a preview of him leaping into a vampire that I really wanted to see it and didn't see it. Yeah, there is a vampire episode. There's so many different kinds of episodes, and they cast through a wide genre of different kinds of, there's straight comedy episodes. There's episodes that are straight horror vibe. There are thrillers, there are murder mystery. There's ones that are like episodes of Murder, She Wrote or something like that. But you always have the constant, which is the relationship between Al and Sam. Everything else around them, changes constantly. And the series always tried to adapt how it told its back and forth point. At first, it was very vague, but eventually we see back in Sam's time, in the modern time, which I think is 1999, it's supposed to be in. And or 2012 or something. I'll probably see it in a second. We go back to that period and we meet some of those characters too. And then there's other aspects that get involved in it too. Hey, hi. Hey, Phil, it's the asshole, man. I love you. From one asshole to another asshole. I love you too, some asshole on the internet. Lots of fucking love from me to you. I'm some asshole sitting in fucking the Northern Hemisphere. Jose, it really is such a great show. It holds up for what it is. At the time, you didn't realize what you were missing. I think if a show like Quantum Leap came out now, and I'm not asking them to reboot it unless they continued it with both actors, but ultimately, if they continue, they probably care a little bit more about continuity from episode to episode. There'd be a little bit more of an overarching storyline that would poke through. You'd have some side characters, but really you don't have a villain in it for the most part. They might have added that later, but time and destiny and all this weird pressure that something could happen to these people's lives that he's messing with, and these horrible things can happen. It's like in Back to the Future, for instance. Oh, you can see your family disappearing. It's like, Sam, you put this thing on top of here when it should have been behind there. Oh my God, I found out that all flowers will die in the future, Sam. What did you do to mess that up? Because they're getting projections from the computer in the past, but there's no ramifications like Sam's going to disappear. It's all just very inconsequential of the events of overall history. Sam's not fucking with historical events and shit like that. He's being very personal events. And that was what was really cool about the first 4 seasons of it, where they didn't do anyone famous or any big events. Eventually, we got a couple of here and there moments where Sam leaped into someone slightly more famous, or like Dr. Ruth had mentioned, or the infamous Lee Harvey Oswald episode. That's probably one of the more difficult episodes of the show to find. But they were very hardcore to the rules when the show first started. It needed to be leaping within his lifetime, and then they would come up with some weird excuse when he'd leap outside his lifetime. At one point, I think he leaps to inside his grandfather's body in the Civil War, and they're like, "How'd that happen?" The Who's the Watson on the Nature shot allowed you to warp into someone in your genetic line, and that allowed you to warp. So they had like weird technobabble excuses like that may seem slightly dated, but again, what isn't dated is the relationship between Dr. Sam Beckett and Al. These two had true chemistry. Again, I'm not going to say odd couple, but they had that Laurel and Hardy, Gleason and Carney, Abbott and Costello. They just had an excellent vibe with each other, a 1-2 punch. Sam, very much a stickler to the rules, not a stick in the mud, but someone that's very innocent at core, and discovering as he's learning things going on, remembers very few things. So all he really can remember is Al. Al's his constant. So Al shows up, and Al's just not what you would expect him to be. It's hard to explain unless you're familiar with the Dean Stockwell character. He's just a scumbag. He's not exactly like a Barney Stinson, for instance, if you're familiar with How I Met Your Mother. For me, he's almost like a cross between Archie Bunker and Barney Stinson in some ways. He's just sitting there with a cigar in his mouth. He doesn't really rag on people or say ridiculous things, but it's very sexualized. But he's got this sort of attitude about him. He is my favorite character in the show. I love characters like that. That's why I like Garrick on Deep Space Nine. All those kind of characters, Littlefinger and Varys. I love the characters that are a little hard to pinpoint on what kind of people they are, but Al is also someone that has had a crazy background, was a POW, lost several women that were the women of his life. So he uses that as bravado for the person he really is, that you get to learn all about that later. The show isn't as starch in two different areas. It does have some gray area within the characters and within what's going on till we get into some other sorts of things that are going on. Such a great show. The JFK Lee Harvey Oswald 3-part was really, really good. Lots of ex-wives, I remember. Yeah, a ton of ex-wives. And the Lee Harvey Oswald episode 3-part was really awesome. But for some reason, okay, let me get into this right off the bat, because you might say, okay, Phil, finish up. You keep talking and then you stop. So finish your talk about what it is. Okay. Now, Quantum Leap is Dr. Sam Beckett, who leaps through space-time during an experiment in time travel by temporarily taking the place of other people in order to correct historical mistakes. Dean Stockwell co-stars as Admiral Al Calavicci, Sam's womanizing, cigar-smoking companion and best friend, who appears as a hologram that animals and children can see. The series features a mix of humor, drama, romance, social commentary, science fiction, and was named one of TV Guide's top cult shows ever. Okay. So here is, I just sound like Joe Pesci there. Okay, here we go. Okay. The thing about Quantum Leap, the unfortunate part, and one of my nitpicks on trying to go back and watch it now, do not watch it on Netflix. You're going to be disappointed, especially if you've seen it before. For some reason, it's one of these series that does not allow all of its episodes to be streamed in order. Some sites that have it have certain episodes. Some sites have other episodes, that then none of them have them all. Some of them have the finale. Some of them don't have the finale. Some of them take out and all the episodes that are missing are some of those iconic episodes, like the Lee Harvey Oswald one. There's other big ones that just aren't there. And it's weird. The only way I was able to watch the series was, means I don't want to talk about that, sailing the seas as a pirate, maybe. Give me that Quantum Leap. Things like that. Or finding it on a channel in my channel, it's channel 38, like doing a search on the TV and seeing on a station that it airs, DVRing it or TiVoing it, whatever, and then just fast forwarding through the commercials. That was how I was able to watch every episode recently. It was a lot of work. It took a lot longer than I would have wanted it to take to streamline a viewing of the whole series. I don't know if the complete DVD series, if someone's way into it, they might want to go out and get that. But I don't know what the shit these assholes are thinking, but it really fucking pisses me off. I spent like 4 or 5 months trying to fucking watch all these goddamn episodes. And I gotta say, when I want to watch something, if I'm like, I want to watch The Sopranos tonight, I'll spend like 12 hours or 16 hours watching a show. I'm just one of those fucking idiots. And I will do it while doing other things. It's not like I'll be doing tons of stuff. I'm watching it in the back, especially if it's a show I've seen before. I don't have to be giving it all my attention. I can spend doing like show prep for some other thing, or doing some computer work, or answering messages, or, doing whatever while I'm watching it. This show made me fucking work for it. And that is an asshole move. Bellisario, or whoever you are, whoever, NBC, or whoever the fuck's doing that to me, you asshole. You trying to encourage me to buy an NBC app or something to get it? I don't fucking know. Marilyn Monroe's Bodyguard. That was another great episode. And there's that woman, the other person that works for Marilyn, that's trying to take advantage of her, and Sam has to protect himself. There's tons of great episodes of Quantum Leap, tons of different types of characters. He leaped into men, into women, so many different moments, and he always leaps into someone at the most inopportune times. We're going to get into one thing that they force the character to do. Well, I'll just say it. Scott Bakula. I'm blanking on Scott Bakula's name. Scott Bakula is a singer. He's always been like a high soprano kind of singer. He has a good voice. Has like, I almost think like an operatic voice, his like true voice. So they always wrote in parts in the episode so that Sam would have to sing, and to make it awkward for him. And the character Sam played it as very awkward. But every time you hear Sam sing on the show, and it's sometimes really good, it's always Scott Bakula. Scott Bakula is an excellent vocalist. Great to see all of you guys. Hey, JD. Hey, Lav. Great to see everybody else. And I know, as I mentioned, Quantum Leap is something new, different, and something old. And a lot of people are like flipping through the internet, be like, I want to listen to someone talk about Quantum Leap. But I appreciate everyone that is checking in on this review. And some of you guys probably have seen Quantum Leap before. If some of you haven't, I don't want to sway you away from watching it by saying it's hard to find, but it's not as easy as, oh, Quantum Leap's on Netflix. I watch the whole series. It's not going to be that simple. It's they fuck you. They fuck you. They fuck you. Don't watch Quantum Leap. I'm just here for Phil and Joe. Damn, where the fuck's Joe? Joe's still sleeping. Joe is supposed to join me, but he is sleeping. I tried texting him. He may still join us by the end of the podcast, but I also told him if he's dragging a little ass today and not up, he can talk about Quantum Leap on the 24-hour stream, just to give his thoughts of it. We're also getting ready Joe's going to be doing some interviews this weekend, so we're getting Joe ready for that. Thank you, Lav. I could talk about anything. I love talking about television, but I really could talk about anything too. I could just babble and babble and babble. You say that now, but when that 24-hour stream happens and I spend 3.5 hours, it's being like, yeah. And then I was 11, and when I was 11, I was squirting some big kids with squirt guns because I was a little prick, like, you assholes, I'm squirting you with squirt guns. And when they chased after me like Johnny in the Karate Kid, and I ran away, I was running down these bleachers at the baseball field, and one of the bleachers was cracked, and I stepped on it, and it broke, and I head slammed down and bashed off of the metal bar, and I started bleeding all out of the top of my head, everywhere on the ground. And this girl that I had a crush on that was like 5 years older than me was there. Was like, oh my goodness. And she grabbed me, ripped her shirt off, threw it on my fucking head, and carried me home, all while wearing her bra. It was both simultaneously the worst and greatest experience of my life. Oh my goodness. Yeah, damn it, Joe. In fairness, it's not like Joe probably fell asleep at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm texting him at 9. Oh, are you up yet? Let's Quantum Leap podcast. Let's podcast about a show from 1989. Let's do it. So, in fairness, I'm giving Joe a pass on this one, and I gave him three or four passes. I was on. You don't necessarily have to make this one. Oh, JD, I was in fucking heaven. It was the greatest experience of my life. And somewhere there's some pictures of me right after that. I have like 2 huge black eyes, and my head has this big scar on it and stuff like that. You can still kind of see the scar. Let me see. It's like this one right here. You see that? Whoa, right there. But that was like all the way across my head, and shit like that. Oh yeah, she was wearing a bra. Yeah, unfortunately. Carl, can I make the story go a little further? Then she took it out, and she was like, "I know you had a crush on me all your life." Her name, I believe, was Linda. I haven't thought of her in a long time, and it doesn't really matter because she's probably married, and no one that knows her is ever going to know this. But I think her name was Linda Rogers. I'm pretty sure that was her name. So just in case you happen to be watching this and your name is different now, and you want to be like, "Oh, you wanted to see him, Phil? Here you go." And you actually want to show him to me finally, Linda? I will be Al, my inner Al from Quantum Leap's coming out. I got issues, man, at gmail.com. We gladly accept all kinds of images. Okay, forget enough me being a pervert. Let's listen to the beginning. Let's listen to the rest of the beginning of the Quantum Leap theme intro. And this is how pretty much every episode opens up.
An observer from his own time who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Oh God, I don't care if I get flagged for this video. It's worth it. Quantum Leap song. The intro of Quantum Leap. I don't know whether to laugh at it or get up and dance. It makes me feel so hokey. Da 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 da. It's so cheesy that I love every fucking minute of it. It screams of the 80s. Hello, Sam. It makes me want to do the Snoopy dance, But say what you want about it. When they changed it for the last season, it got horrible. Freaking horrible. It was this mad orchestration of it and stuff. Oh, it's ridiculous. Sam comes in at the exact right time. Sam's like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" Wait. I come in just as Phil's dancing in it's like 89 degrees out and humid as shit in this room. I'm going to be swimming. My hair. Ooh, baby, my hair. I got my first, let me feel like a vlogging channel for a second. Got my first haircut in like 20 years yesterday. But such a crazy intro, very detailed. It definitely did get, by the end, you're like fast forwarding and stuff because you're like, okay, I got to hear this shit again. But it's more so in the way that I was saying, like it had to reset the deck every season. But some asshole on the internet out there, he's right. It was the intro was, it almost didn't match the tone of the rest of the series. Excuse me. I'm not saying the series was dead serious, but for the time, it felt like the stakes were pretty high. And it felt like it did take itself as serious in some ways as shows like that at the time did. There was a humor to it all, but it definitely did take itself somewhat serious. You'd have this like crazy event, like Sam's gonna die, and then they click in this intro. It was sort of a cheesy counterpoint. And then of course you had the catchphrase, Sam's huge catchphrase. Where is it? Sam, what's your catchphrase? I'm putting it on a video of it, and See, I'm watching. I clicked one of those. I clicked a video that said Sam oh boy montage, and they're showing me the whole scene leading up to the oh boy. I don't want that. If I want an oh boy montage, I want this is just an editing thing. If I want an oh boy montage, which thank you so much, person on YouTube who I'll give credit, Run Stop 10, who posted this video. Thank you, Run Stop 10. You did an awesome job. That's a lot of work you put into this, taking all these clips. But could you just give me just the oh boys? I don't need to like watch a kiss. Yeah, the porn. Oh boy. See, it's like a.
Why the hell are you here?
Oh boy.
So if it was the oh boy, his catchphrase, which ultimately we'll get into this when we get into factoids, but that was an improv by Scott Bakula that just kind of stuck. In some of the first episodes, he doesn't quite say oh boy, he's like, oh gosh, or there's something else he says, but eventually he just did the oh boy and it stuck and went with it. Laugh at the porn music. Total porn music. It was the era where all those audio banks were starting, and it's very porny at times. Okay, so in the series premiere, Sam theorized about the ability to time travel in one's lifetime and is the lead of the government-funded Project Quantum Leap, operating a secret laboratory in New Mexico. Al oversees the project for the government. When Al learns that the funding for the project is in danger of being pulled because they haven't demonstrated any results on the product, Sam takes it upon himself to step in the Quantum Leap accelerator to prove that it works and is sent into the past. So kind of like The Fly there. So Sam takes it upon himself to step in the accelerator to prove it works. When Sam gains consciousness, he finds himself suffering from partial amnesia, and more to his surprise, he finds that his appearance to others, including what he sees in the mirror, is not his own face. He finds that Al has come to aid him as a hologram. Sam can hear him as if he's tuned into his brainwaves. Al, working with the project's artificial intelligence computer named Ziggy, who is voiced by Deborah Pratt, who is a wise-ass computer that's very temperamental, almost a computer that has a personality. Not so much, well, I don't think you want to do that, Dave, but almost like a lazy computer, almost to the extent of in Team America, where what's the name of the computer system of Team America? That's intelligence. What's this intelligence? Like, oh, I don't know, man. That's bad intelligence. Bad intelligence. Ziggy is the computer that's always fucking up and giving projections and giving these very staunch projections of Sam's chances in the future of doing event A, event C. But Ziggy is a wise ass, especially when you go to the future time, you actually hear the voice of the computer. It's the computer that does the intro, so it's a real voice. It's like it's not even at all a hologram or a computerized voice. It's just a woman's voice, the same voice that does the intro. Yes, intelligence. Oh my goodness. Yeah, total porn music. Intelligence. I love that movie. I love Team America too. That's high on our list of movies to do a watch through of. I can't wait to start getting into those. First on the list of those movies we're going to be doing is The Princess Bride. So look for that really soon, sometime in the next couple of weeks. And then maybe we can get into some of the Matt Stone and Trey Parker movies. I think those would be good ones to do, even though Basketball isn't a full-on one. Basketball, Orgasmo, Cannibal, and of course, Team America. Fucking love Mo. Check out Mo's stuff. Subscribe to Mo on YouTube, and him and Tony have another channel. Feel free to share the name in the comment section below so I don't destroy it, Mo. But check out Mo's stuff. He's one of the good people out there on YouTube. So here we go. Here we fucking go. So this fucking show, this fucking Quantum Leap, it's wicked fucking pisses, dude. Dude, when I was sitting down there, fucking Stacy, I know you never seen this fucking show, but this show back in fucking Boston, we call this fucking show, you know what we call this show? We call this show the fucking Cookie Monster. That's what we call this fucking show. It's the fucking Cookie Monster, motherfucker. No problem, Mo. Always feel free. Or you can. It's definitely at some point, Mo. That has to happen, and it will happen. You, Tony, and I should do something. That'd be awesome. But yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that later after the summer's up and we're into the fall with a whole new batch of some cool TV shows and shit like that. We'll figure out something, but that would be fucking awesome. So fucking wicked fuckers. So motherfucker. Sorry. C is for cookie. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Sorry, I'm way too goofy. I missed you guys. I missed sitting in this goofy chair. I totally missed sitting on this chair. And I think I saw him go through, oh yes, lunch break with Phil, the FOP. Al, Red Sox fan. Speaking of good people, one of the best out there. Al, motherfucking Red Sox fan. Sleeping, Mo. It's tough to get Joe up before 2. Joe goes to bed Joe used to, in fairness, because I always, when I do daytime podcasts, I'm like, Joe's sleeping. Some people are like, Joe sleeps Joe used to work forever. I mean, for many, many years, weird overnight type shifts. So his internal clock is a little weird in the sense that he's always up all night. It's very strange for him to fall asleep before 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So his most awake time is in that like that middle of the night time period. I did that too, actually. I worked at a convenience store from 11 at night to 7 in the morning for probably like 3 or 4 months. And even just doing it 3 or 4 months, it took me a year or two to get my clock exactly right to when I wasn't just up in the middle of the night all the time. Like I'm still someone that I fall asleep at probably like 3 every night. And then I wake up at like 8. I get like 5 hours sleep a night. And then there'll be a day when I sleep like 20 hours. But Joe gets a good, 6, 8 hours a night of sleep, but he doesn't fall asleep till like 7 in the morning. Me too, Stacy. I love him. Not quite yet. Not quite yet, Al. I love those two, and I gotta give tons of credit, and all the credit and love goes to Taka, the producer, who is going to get him a lot more on this channel coming up soon too. He's one of my oldest podcasting buddies, and gotta love Taka, and gotta love that he come over and just added a whole new layer to the Dirty Issues stuff. So him and Joe are doing tons of fun stuff. Taka and I used to do a one-on-one show. Taka was like my Al for a while. Come on, Al. We used to do a show called 1 vs. 1 where we played each other in video games and dressed up in costumes and shit like that. So might get back into that over in Dirty Issues. So huge love to those guys for the Dirty Issues podcasts that are going on over there. Just come in for the dentist. Oh boy. Oh, are you numb? Is your magically delicious? Are you on? Fucking great stuff. Okay, so he also updates Sam on future events. Al helps Sam overcome that facets of the Swiss cheese memory and provides information on history of how it originally happened. He also updates Sam on future events and relates to possible outcomes, probabilities using a handheld communication device in contact with Ziggy. Like it almost looks like a Palm Pilot. He's like, Palm Pilot. The device is awesome, temperamental, which he has to hit it a few times. It emits these electrical beeping, like beep, 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 those kind of sounds. With Al and Ziggy's help, Sam is able to successfully change history. Then he leaps out only to find himself in the life of someone else in a different time period, rinse, repeat, to have to keep saving people's lives. Episodes in the series follow Sam's reactions to each leap, typical ending with the cold open. Like the end of the episode ends with the beginning of the next episode. So you don't get scenes from next week, but you know what the next character Sam's going to be playing is. With oh boy, and you hear Sam do his classic oh boy at the same time when that's all going on. It's like, oh boy. Oh boy.
Please, I'm being kidnapped! He's my ex-husband! He's gonna kill me! Please!
Oh boy. Oh boy. So those old boys continue. Gotta go because my phone's overheating on the beach, but it's very pleasant surprise seeing you live and hanging with the motherfucking chat. Sam, have an excellent time at the beach. Relax. Friggin', like with all the work you do as a law student, fucking hope you get all the relaxing time you can on the beach this summer. Just coming. Great. Thank you so much, Al Rozux fan. That's all thanks to you guys and the push that you guys did the other night. There was some accounting issues going on, but huge thank you to everyone that has helped us reach that point here. It was a huge boost all through this Game of Thrones season, and it's really awesome that we hit this in the off season. We're just going to be so crazy and ready starting in September for the new seasons of these shows, and it's going to be, I cannot wait for this year. This could be the best fucking year for issues, for the issues program here. And it's all thanks to you guys. I could sit here for 2 hours giving you guys love and thanks for all the support you give me and all of us. So thank you, everybody. And thank you again to all of our patrons on Patreon and all the people that have donated via PayPal and all that stuff too. The more of that all happens over time, the more we can keep growing and growing. And huge thank you to all of you for doing all of that. And I got all your names up there on that list, and I'll never forget all the amazing stuff that you guys do. So huge, go fucking hug yourselves, all of you. Okay, enough of that shit. Yum. Yeah, you guys all taste good. Your pits and your elbows taste great. I forgot to do it. I forgot to use my fart noise when I was promoting myself there. Whatever. You get the point. You guys are fucking great. It's gonna be hard to top season 6, but wow, it may happen for season 7. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be such a fun season. I cannot wait to get back to that. I cannot wait to get into that. I cannot wait to get into Walking Dead this season, Better Call Saul, Vikings, all the new seasons of the shows. Hopefully we'll get a couple of new great shows to get back into keep doing movie reviews, keep more and more of that stuff, keep doing more and more shows. Eventually, like I said, the goal, if I can figure it out and balance things. Right now, I've been spending the last couple of weeks applying jobs, doing all of that. Hopefully all that stuff will work out. But, one day, as I've mentioned all the time, my goal is to be able to podcast every fucking day. So that's coming. I ain't giving up until I get there. And then I'll give up. I'll be like, I made it. I'm podcasting every day. I quit. So episodes in the series, they follow Sam as he reacts to each leap in the cold open. Then working with Al and Ziggy to figure out his new identity, who he needs help to set right what is wrong. The episodes typically end in the first few moments of Sam's next leap, which is repeated in the following episode's cold open, sometimes a little bit different. Though initially Sam's leaping is believed by Al and others to be the quantum leap, to be random, eventually it believes to be, in later seasons, something or someone that is controlling Sam's leaping. And this is the central focus in the final episode, Mirror Image, when we learn more about that. And I don't want to spoil how the series ends, but I don't necessarily love how the series ends. But I don't want to spoil that right here. So when Sam leaps, his body is physically present in the past, although he appears to others as the person he leaped into. In one case, after leaping into a Vietnam vet that had lost both his legs, Sam could still walk normally, but appeared to others as if he was floating. Sam's body and mind become jumbled with those he has leaped into. In one situation, he has leaped into a woman near the end of her pregnancy and felt her birth pains, while in another episode, he leaped into the body of Lee Harvey Oswald and felt intense pressure to assassinate JFK, despite knowing it was a wrong thing to do. Similarly, the person that Sam had leaped into is brought to the future, where they appear as Sam to the others. They are normally kept in an isolation room, which prevents them from learning anything about the future. They return to their own time, where Sam leaps. In most cases, Sam's leaps, the changes he makes, are small on a grand scale, such as saving the life of a person who might have died or helping someone's life better. Select episodes have shown more dramatic effects on time travel. In one episode, Sam's action ultimately leads to Al's death in the project, and Sam finds himself suddenly aided by a new hologram. It's like instantaneously. And this, he must work to prevent Al's death. And when he does things that helps Al's death, Al comes back. It's really weird. In another episode, when, again, the project funding is threatened, Sam helps a young woman successfully pass the bar. I think that's maybe different Sam. But this results in involving this results in her becoming one of the members of Congress who oversees the project and the restoration of his funding. In the episode involving Lee Harvey Oswald, while Sam and Al do not prevent the assassination of Kennedy, Sam's actions prevent Oswald from making a second shot that killed Jacqueline Kennedy in the original fictitious history. So meaning they use our history as the normal history and say, oh, in the original timeline, Jackie Kennedy was supposed to be shot too, but because Sam saved the day, she wasn't. Because of the time travel aspect, many episodes allude to famous people or incidents directly, as Sam suggesting to young Donald Trump that New York real estate would be valuable in the future, suggesting that the lyrics of Peggy Sue to a teenage Buddy Holly, showing a young Michael Jackson his signature moonwalk dance for the first time, giving Henry Helmick the idea of the Heimlich maneuver, setting a place in action to lead to the discovery of the Watergate scandal. Two notable episodes place Sam directly at the center of a significant history events. One is Oswald, the other is the Marilyn Monroe episode, which is mentioned in the motherfucking chat. Who saves her life and convinces Marilyn to remain alive in her starring role in The Misfits. Other episodes explore the past main characters like Sam visiting his brother who was killed in the Vietnam War and saving Al in one of Al's messages. Here's a spoiler alert for the final episode if you don't want to hear how it ends. 1, 2, 3, fuck off! In the final episode, Mirror Image, Sam leaps through space-time himself without replacing another person, arriving at the exact time of his birth, where he meets a mysterious barkeep played by Bruce McGill, who, you know the actor Bruce McGill. He's been in tons of shit, who appeared in the first episode in a different role. The barkeep is aware of Sam's situation and assures him that he himself are in control of the very nature of the destinations of his leaps. He's out there to make the world a better place, and that Sam is always able to return home anytime he truly wants. In the final epilogue, though, Sam is shown to leap back to visit Al's wife, Beth, as himself again, assuring her that her husband was a prisoner of war and will come back to save their marriage. And in that result, Al and Beth remain happily married in the future, while a little title card comes up that says Sam will continue leaping forever, never returns home, which was added after the fact because they didn't know that the series was going to be canceled. So that is a basic overview of the series. So here we go. Thank you, everyone that's been joining us. Oh, I see. Thank you for joining us. I will talk to you later. But from Mo, what I remember, Vikings was baddest. Can't wait to get caught up. Yeah, I cannot wait to get back to that as well. My favorite episode, I watched the first 2 seasons and I fell way behind and to start from the beginning to catch up. I just realized that my leap that Al Red Sox is my Al. What should I do, says Cheekiest? Someone said their favorite episode. My favorite episode was when Sam was a boxer, says Al Red Sox fan. That makes a lot of sense. I liked, as a kid watching it, I liked all the sports episodes the best. The ones where he leaped into the baseball player. Bull Durham was one of my favorite movies at the time. And I love that episode where he jumped into the baseball player. I love the boxing one. I loved any of the ones that were played more for comedy at the time. Any of the romance ones. Ew, they're hugging and kissing. I don't want to see that. But we'll get into this, that Scott Bakula, it may not seem like it now, but at the time he was considered hunky. So they would always have reasons to have him in a romance type situation. Always have an excuse for him to feel uncomfortable and have his shirt off or something like that. So it was one of the aspects of the show that was definitely very relevant, was that Scott Bakula was a sex symbol of some sort, and they showed it off on the show. Yeah, you had the power all along, my dear. The leaping business can keep you a little bit disoriented, though. Yeah. I would love to leap, though. Do you know what I think ultimately? Just to get this over with, because I think it's too late, and I really hope they don't reboot it. While Stockwell and Beckett and Bakula are still alive, I would love to see a true miniseries of some sort. But what I would really like to see the most is to see what happened with Ghostbusters. I love that all 4 of the original Ghostbusters got back together to do that video game. For whatever you want to say about anything else, getting to hear the 4 of them together again was a real joy. Getting to interact with them as in a video game would be exceptional. Quantum Leap, I think, is one of those properties that if you wanted to reboot it or continue it, video game is the way to go. I don't know how exactly it would work. Maybe it's a VR game with the influx of VR stuff coming in with the PlayStation, PlayStation with the Oculus Rift, all those other ones. But a VR quantum leap game where you're leaping to different people and you have Al with you, or you can be Al. You can make a decision to be Al or Sam or whatever, and you have to either advise or try to go through the motions of correcting historical events. But it's actually a continuation of the events that happened after the fact. To me, that's the only way I'd like to see the series continue, even though I think it ends shitty. I think at this point right now, technology of video games have caught up to how cool of a game that could be. So maybe it doesn't need to be VR. Maybe it could be third person. But I think looking through the eyes of Sam and giving you that disoriented feeling of leaping and all of that could be a very fun VR game. So copyright Fill the Issues Guy 2016. Quantum Leap Telltale series would be awesome too, cheekiest. Well said. Al, Red Sox fan, have a great rest of the day. Benjamin, I'm like Benjamin Buttons. I'm like 300 years old. I'm gonna be 80 next week. So I would have to go back. I would have to go back to work, take lunch over, take care, Phil, and all the FOPs. Love you. Sam was good. Sam was so good, though. It was great that he got a Star Trek captain, even though that series wasn't as popular. Yeah, Bakula was amazing after, got amazingly popular after this. He was in that football movie, too, with, what was that? Green Nutters, you're magically delicious. A better prophecy than the Valentine is the one by Agnes Butter. Do not buy Betamax circa 17th century. Agus Nutter, you rock, magically delicious. Sam was so popular. And Necessary Roughness, that was the football movie that Bakula got. And yes, Enterprise was not my favorite Star Trek, but I'm glad he got it. And if you ever watch that documentary, The Captains, that Shatner did, it's on Netflix, you get to an interview with him, and he admits to himself that he didn't give that show his true heart and didn't run it in the way that he should have, because not that he was burnt out at a Quantum Leap, but he's like, I already did it. It was my. Am I back? Am I back? Can you guys hear me? Am I back? Let's see. I think I'm back. I think we made it. I made it back. Motherfucker. Seriously? Like, I fucking hate my internet company. We pay some ridiculous amount a month each month, and they can't freaking, I can't stay connected. If you guys in the live chat can hear me now, let me know. And if anyone's watching this later, I highly apologize. Did I leap back? Did it work? Have I leaped back? Lab says yes. Chigi says this leap has gone wrong. I'm back. I made it back. I think when the internet, if that happens again, I think it's 15 minutes or 10 minutes to get back in time before the event ends. I wonder how that's going to look. If anyone has been watching this, you're not, I leaped. That was some time travel. I didn't quite leap back in time. I leaped back into someone with better internet. We hear you, you damn hippie. You're fucking here. Oh my goodness. Thank you everyone for, sorry about that. So as I was saying before I go, if they recontinued this series, I think a Telltale game would be exceptional, or some sort of video game continuation would probably be my favorite way that they could continue it. I don't want to see them reboot this. I think that would be horrible, or a passing the torch kind of thing, unless it was more Star Wars Force Awakens rather than complete reboot, like Quantum Leap never existed. Like if they completely redid it, like complete reboot, like I would prefer a continuation, like Al's daughter or son takes over Quantum Leap. But either way, Scott Bakula still looks great. He could still pull it off. There's no reason why, if they wanted to do a 2-hour TV movie or something, they couldn't do something like that. But I'm more on the make a video game. I did, Scott. I leaped out, got a little bit of side butthole. I needed it. My some lovely woman knocked on my door, and I was like, "Excuse me, could I see your side butthole, please? You look very much like Sansa Stark." Whoa, that's very clean. Very clean butthole. It was a full butthole, actually. So here we go. Here we go, everybody. This is Howard Cocksucker. They couldn't reboot it, not to learn the charm of the show, because it's one of those shows that the concept is interesting. Yeah, it's interesting. There are better time travel concepts, even using similar thoughts and ideas than this. But the relationship with Al and Sam is the thing that you can't balance. It's why certain reboot kind of things don't work. Total Recall is the best example for me. The concept of the movie was always kind of cool. Yeah, they go to Mars, need oxygen, Total Recall, blah, blah, blah. But what sold that movie was Arnold's charm. That's as hard as that's to say. Arnold Schwarzenegger had a sense of humor and charm to him in the way he did cheesy action flicks, especially in that era. Running Man, Predator, leading up to Total Recall. Those were the twins eventually too. Those are the height of Arnold at his best. And he sold that movie because of his personality, because of the counterbalance between him, because of some of the cheesy effects, because of the 3 boobs, because of all those things sold that movie. Special effects were cutting edge at the time, and you really felt like you were transported to a world. In the remake, which by all general purposes was really tight around the edges, cast all right, all that sort of stuff, was such a boring rewatch and such a shit because it took itself too seriously and didn't have any of the same personality. And I'm afraid if they tried to redo Quantum Leap, it would be a similar thing. They wouldn't understand. They couldn't recreate a character like Dean Stockwell's Al, who is like Alf as a person. I'm just looking at shows like Quantum Leap, Alf. But Al is just, and both of them just are such a unique pair that if you tried to redo that and recreate that, it would come off so fucking false. It's not something you can plan on doing. It's something that just happens. And like Jesse and Walt, like something happened between Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul that connected them with a sense of chemistry that just, they didn't plan that out. They wanted the character of Jesse to be written off by the end of the first season, but they couldn't write him off because they're like, these guys are the best fucking pair ever. We need to keep them together forever and ever and ever. I fucking love you too, Scott. Oh, what's that over there? Oh yes, sorry, I had to lick some side butthole. You could tell the amount of love and affection went into the show. Yeah, and you could tell the amount of love and affection that those two actors had for each other. They are, and the reason why is you see both of them in other things, and they try to transition some of that to other people, other people that have those best friend relationships, and they just can't do it in the way that they do it with each other. They are friends in real life, and it comes through in their performances of those characters. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you're in. It was Titan. All right. So time tunnel, man. So some of our other characters that we got were Ziggy, who is the narrator and co-executive producer of the show, Deborah Pratt, in the self-aware artificial intelligence parallel hybrid computer with an ego that runs the Project Quantum Leap and helps Sam throughout the series as Ziggy. Then we have Gushy, who plays one of the often mentioned head programmer who's said to have really horrible breath. He appears in the series 5 times, but is mentioned all the time. And then we have Dr. Beeks, who is often mentioned as a psychiatrist, played by Candy Ann Brown. And also, we also have a character that's Sam's wife that shows up sometimes, or showed up one episode. And then they never mention her again, and they explain it away by having Al never bring up the wife again, so Sam can relax into his lifestyle without thinking he's breaking his wife's heart every time. So Sam also has a wife. Bye, JD. Thank you for hanging out. Really appreciate it. I know these day streams, I just kind of jump them on sometimes. So really appreciate you sharing some of your day with me, babbling about some Quantum Leap and random shit. So the soundtrack of Quantum Leap, the main premise Quantum Leap theme song, is inspired by movies like Heaven Can't Wait, Here Comes Jordan. Series creator Don P. Bellisario saw it as a concept, a way of developing an original anthology series, as anthologies were unpopular with networks. Do an anthology series without doing an anthology. Series ran for 5 seasons from March 89 through May 93. Now, the main premise of Quantum Leap, the soundtrack, the song was written by Mike Post and later rearranged in the 5th season to sound like dog shit. Quantum Leap was on Sunday nights, then Fridays and Wednesdays, and Fridays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays, yada, yada, yada. Won all sorts of awards. 1989 Primetime Emmy Award, Outstanding Cinematography, Outstanding Achievement in Hairstyling for a series. Oh, that Sam Beckett had excellent hair. 1990 won Best Actor in a Dramatic Series, Scott Bakula. This was the 2nd season of the show. Best Performance by an Actor in a Supporting Role or Miniseries, Dean Stockwell. Outstanding Cinematography for a Series. Best Actor in a Quality Drama. Best Supporting Actor in a Quality Drama. That's the Quality Awards, the Edgar Awards. Who cares about those? Emmys. Makeup in 91. Cinematography in 91. 92. Scott Bakula won it again. Won the Golden Globe, and 1993 Primetime Emmy went to editing in the Lee Harvey Oswald episode. Series does continue in books and comics, if you're all about that. There have been occasional announcements of plans to revisit the restart of the series in July 2002. Sci-Fi announced in development a 2-hour film based on Quantum Leap, which was airing in reruns at the time. That would have served as a backdoor pilot for a new series with the same executive producer, but that didn't happen. But during the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con, Scott Bakula said that they're working on a script for a feature film. That never happened. Blah, never happened. So that is a little bit about the history of Quantum Leap. Ever play a Quantum Leap video game? Quantum Break video game. No, I haven't, but that would be awesome. I've heard good things about that game. CJ, is it at all connected to Quantum Leap? But I read a friend of mine's review of Quantum Break, said a lot of great things. Imagine Quantum Leap Knight Rider crossover. Dun, 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 dun. The theme music would kill me. That was one of my first toys I ever had, was a Knight Rider toy. I loved Michael Knight as a kid. I had no clue what was going on there, but I loved Knight Rider. Not enough to do a whole podcast on it, but I definitely love it. And one of the things that people don't realize in the very first episode of Knight Rider, Michael Knight's played by somebody else, and he's like beaten there to death or almost gets killed or something. And he has to go through plastic surgery and comes out looking like the Hoff. It's like, oh, I've done almost like the Joker thing. Sir, we've done our best. And he looks and it's David Hasselhoff. Oh my goodness, I'm David Hasselhoff now. But CJ, I'll definitely have to say that. Imagine I would love to see the Quantum Leap Knight Rider crossover. That comic book needs to exist somewhere. So let me click that off. Let me go Quantum Leap season 1. Lots of different episodes. I was going to go through some of the episode list, but there's 9 episodes in season 1. There's actually 97 episodes total of Quantum Leap. Some really great ones. Some of my favorites, I already mentioned this list. I don't want to get too into the specifics of each episode because even though once you get into the series, you'll know the rules. So you'll pretty much know what's going to happen by the end of every episode. I'm not going to say it's quite Scooby-Doo, but you know Quantum Leap was on for 5 years. You know that somehow they're probably going to get out of there. There's some dark shit that happens, no doubt, and some surprises that happen. But for the most part, it's one of those series, you're going to know the formula pretty soon. But still, each episode is somewhat of a mystery on how it all fucking comes together in the end. The Lee Harvey episode was great, and no, the game just had a similar premise. Thank you, Scott. That means so much to me. Cannot say enough fucking thanks to that. And please do. And if you do get on that point, we have some of those tier kind of things. If any donation gets to be put their name on the list over there, the magic list of amazing fucking people. I think some of the other things are ideas for shows, getting to be a guest on the show, those kind of things. If you're interested in any of those, most of the people that are Patreon, they're like, "Oh, we don't want to be on your fucking show, asshole. We just want to support it." But anytime, if any of the people, especially the patrons, why can't I say that fucking word? Patrons. If you have any suggestions for shows, you guys know how to reach me through that. And I think I've touched base with every one of you. We have a couple of new ones. But if any of you guys have any suggestions for shows, your suggestions go to the front of the pile for things to do. Huge thank you to everyone that supports us. I honestly cannot say that enough. Okay. Enough of that crap. Let's finish this shit off here. I can do that. Oh, boy. Oh, wait. What did I say? And no, the game was just had a simple premise. Or simile premise. I kind of knew what you were trying to say. Similar premise. Did anyone like Scrappy-Doo? No. I hated Scrappy-Doo episodes. I liked the episodes that crossed over with different dogs in that universe, though, when we got like the Maltese Falcon with that other dog. What was that other dog that you would have, too, with Scooby? The like electric dog or something, or the magic dog or whatever, or the gadget kind of dog, or whatever. But you get these like crossover episodes with some of the Scooby-Doo families of episodes, but no one liked Scrappy-Doo. It would be hard. I think I'd say the same about Foghorn Leghorn, as that was his name. I hated that character. Or the little character that was the Chicken Hawk or something, or whatever, that would always be next to Foghorn Leghorn. It's just this total fucking attitude. I hated that character. Wait a second. Are we talking about Dorn here? No. We're not talking about Dorn. Okay, so before we call this a quantum stream, yeah, I did. Let's get into some trivia from Quantum Leap. Some I am a douchebag.com trivia about moviepoopshoot.com trivia about Quantum Leap. So, oh no, Scooby-Doo. Yes, that's a perfect way of saying it. Scrappy-Doo is the sand snake of the cartoon world. The television sand snakes of the cartoon world. Nobody likes him. No one likes episodes dedicated to him. No one even likes having him partly in an episode at all. Why was there never a Scooby-Doo episode with Michael Vick? Good question. Why? I'm so Ron Burgundy sometimes with messages. I'm like, why wasn't there a Scooby-Doo episode with Michael Vick? Why? But I was saying it in a comedic, like in a total serious way. Yeah, why wasn't there an episode of Scooby? Because I thought I was gonna. Edward, you crack me up. Scrappy killed the magic of the show. Yeah, that's season 5 that was all dedicated to the Scrappy-Doo. And the way Scrappy-Doo killed Doran Martell like that was horrible. Sorry, Dr. Bashir. Sorry, Duran. Come here. Come closer. Come closer, buddy. There you go. There you go. Let's make him feel better. More like scrappy douche, right? Right? Love you, Scott. Okay, so speaking of Scott Bakula ad-libbed the line, "Oh boy," at the end of the first episode. The producer liked it so much that it became a signature final line of every episode. And Sam finds himself in a new body. Al's cigar was also an idea of Dean Stockwell, who said, "Listen, it was a good way of getting a free cigar for 5 years." Scott Bakula was the first actor cast and thus was asked to read with actors under consideration for the role of Al. Bakula immediately felt a connection with Dean Stockwell during the audition and lobbied the producers to hire him now, motherfuckers. According to Dean Stockwell, his friend, I gotta play some music for this, right? That's the best thing. If I'm doing this sort of shit, let me play this. No, I'll play this one. Play this one, asshole. The character of Sam Beckett, according to Dean Stockwell, his friend Dennis Hopper advised him not to take a role in television. So soon after being nominated for the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor, Married to the Mob, which is the first thing I saw Dean Stockwell in. It's a movie with him and Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh God, Michelle Pfeiffer looks so amazing in that movie. And also Matthew Modine. I saw that movie in the theater, actually. Stockwell took the role anyway, and he was nominated for an Emmy and 4 Golden Globes. The character of Scott, only a half a sandwich today. When I'm doing a lone podcast, it's tough to simultaneously sandwich. Thank you so much, Snake Guy. Huge thank you to you for checking us out. Huge thank you to Devin for sending you my way. Devin's such an awesome dude and been so awesome to me and my channel and bringing you guys in. So fucking huge thank you to you and thank you to the Roo. Milk was a bad choice. Okay, I'll shut the fuck up. So the character Sam Beckett was ranked 12 in TV Guide's list of 25 greatest sci-fi legends. Sam Beckett leaped into the year 19... Oh my goodness. Quantum Leap came close to be... I'm sorry. Dr. Sam Beckett leaped into... Play more music, asshole. Sam Beckett leaped into the year 1958 8 different times, which made him the most leaped-in year during the series. Quantum Leap came close to being canceled in its 3rd season due to low ratings. However, a letter-writing campaign helped save the series and enabled it to continue for 2 more years. There were additional thoughts for episodes which ultimately were never used. One had Sam leaping into Robert Kennedy. Another idea would involve an animated episode. This was one of the ones that I think is amazing. There was going to be an animated episode. The producers even toyed with the idea of Sam leaping into a baby. This was to be the story of the 14th issue of the Quantum Leap comic book, but production ended after issue 13. Author Donald Bellisario wanted to do an episode where Sam leaps into Thomas Magnum P.I. from Magnum P.I. And it was unclear why that episode never materialized, although in an early episode, a character is seen watching Magnum P.I., establishing that the series as a fictional within the Quantum Leap universe. But that might have happened in an alternate universe. You joke about the Knight Rider thing. Scott Bakula did his own singing in the episodes in which Sam leaped into musical performers, or otherwise called upon to do so. Prior to his work on television, Bakula did extensive work in musical theater. Don Belsario's favorite TV series of all time, Deborah Pratt, the series narrator, voice of Ziggy, also wrote and executive produced the series. She was married to Donald P. Bellisario when the series aired. After it ended, she left him. In an interview conducted shortly after the series ended, Scott Bakula was asked if there were any particular historical figures or events he would have liked to see Sam involved in. Bakula said he would like to have done something with the Kennedys, more with the Kennedys, and unrelated to the assassination, or been able to have more time squeezing up to fake Marilyn Monroe. I'd add maybe even a Betty Page moment there. Sam Beckett leaped into every year from 1953 through 1987 at least once, except for the years 1977, 84, and 86. Sam has leaped into the years 1882 and 1945, the only times he has leaped out of his lifetime. There's no special mention made during the series with the exception of Gucci on Project Quantum Leap of what year. There's no special mention is made during the series with the exception of Gucci's Project Leap is run almost entirely by women. They include Dr. Donald Elise, Sam's wife, Dr. Bleak, who's a medical technician, Tina Martinez, Al's girlfriend, an unnamed military envoy that she's never seen, Dr. Sam Joe Fuller, Sam's daughter, is during a leap is also involved, also a psychiatrist, Ziggy, blah, blah, blah. Almost immediately after the series was canceled, producer announced plans to continue the series or perhaps theatrical movies. Scott Bakula expressed intense optimism in projects. He said him and Dean Stockwell wanted to do it. There was so much time in the 2000s where it almost happened, but never happened. The series actually traces its roots to the original Battlestar Galactica, which Donald P. Bellisario wrote and produced for. The series revival spin-off, Galactica 1980, was originally centered around time travel and returning changes in history back to a normal. The concept was dropped after the pilot, but Bellisario stuck with the concept to develop Quantum Leap. The concept of Sam inhabiting others' identity was incorporated to change for better, partly inspired by the movie Heaven Can Wait, which itself was a practically word-for-word remake of Heaven Comes Mr. Jordan, with the exception of changing the lead from a prize fighter, blah, 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 blah. I don't care about any of that crap. Shut up. More! Scott Bakula, Dean Stockwell, Bruce McGill, Dennis Wolfbang are the only actors to appear in both the pilot and the finale. Dean Stockwell was the first to leap through time in an episode of The Twilight Zone in 1959, Equality of Mercy playing a war-hungry United States lieutenant in 1945. Ranked number 15 in TV Guide's Top 25 Cult Shows of All Time in 2004. Throughout the series, Dr. Sam Beckett meets a future famous people, including Buddy Holly, Michael Jackson, Stephen King, Donald Trump, Marilyn Monroe, Bill Clinton, and Ruth Weisenheimer, Lee Harvey Oswald, and Elvis Presley. Thank you very much. Donald P. Bellisario established Sam Beckett's birth year as 1953 by reversing the digits of his own birth year, 1935. Sam Beckett and series creator Donald P. Bellisario shared the same birthday of August 8th. In the first few episodes of the series, Sal exited an imaging chamber by an unseen door, which opened like a regular door with a turning knob key. By the middle of the first season, the effect was changed to a standard rising door with blue light shining on it. Quantum Leap has several references to Donald P. Bellisario's other series, Tales of the Golden Monkey, Gushy from Quantum Leap's Ghost Ship, Captain Cutter, who was the main character in Tales of the Golden Monkey. Season 1's cliffhanger into Season 2 was a teaser for Quantum Leap, What Price Gloria, October 16th, 1961. The next season, 3 other episodes premiered before that episode aired. Sam had leaped out of the United States 7 times. He leaped into Scott Bakula would subsequently star on Star Trek Enterprise. A number of actors would appear on Quantum Leap, also made appearances on various Star Trek series. Most notably, Terry Farrell. Terry Farrell. Terry Farrell is right behind me. J.K. Hertz and Mark Alamo were co-stars on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Also, Robert D. Duncan was on Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek The Next Generation, Quantum Leap, Leap for Lisa. Both had characters named Commander Riker. The episode Lee Harvey Oswald was written by Donald P. Bellisario, and overhearing his children talk about the movie JFK. He always believed that Oswald was the lone gunman, so he decided to make an episode based around that. He based this on a conversation with Oswald in the late 50s when they both were in the Marines. The meeting was part of the second part of the episode where Matthew Charles Nelson playing Bellisario. So Bellisario actually met Lee Harvey Oswald, and he thought he was probably the type of guy that would shoot the president. What's up, Drew? Great to see you. Sam leaped into 9 women or teenage girls over the course of the series. In the first season, the prologue explaining the Quantum Leap were done by Scott Bakula as Sam Beckett. By the second season, they were done by the voice of Ziggy. Al Calavicci drives 2 different Ferraris in the season. Malcolm McDowell auditioned for the role of Al Calavicci, which they later met him a time traveler for the second time. The first was Time After Time, the actor's last name, but obviously Matthew McDowell would not have been good for Al. In the episode Catch a Falling Star, Ernie Sambella plays Manny, who is Manny of La Mancha, who plays Sancho Panza. Many years later, Sambella plays the role of Sancho in a Broadway revival of the musical. Okay. Sam Beckett is revealed to have attended Massachusetts MIT, and his friend and guide Al is mentioned to also spend some time there. Al's call sign pilot name is Bingo. Scott Bakula, Dean Stockwell will later reunite for the first season episode of Star Trek Enterprise. Throughout the series, Sam Beckett also encountered other younger people, Buddy Holly, Woody Allen, Michael Jackson, Stephen King, Sylvester Stallone, Bill Clinton, and others. In the season 2, All-Americans, Calavicci correctly predicts that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be playing in Super Bowl 30. Fucking weird. Inspired by the song I Always Feel Like I'm Going to Quantum Leap, Bone Cage, okay, blah, 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 blah. The show's theme song was revamped for the final season. I don't care about that. Sam Beckett was named after the famous Irish writer. Donald P. Bellisario and Scott Bakula both expressed their ire with NBC Network over the series finale. Originally, Bellisario was asked to write an episode that could function as either the series or the season cliffhanger as an end to the series. When Bellisario complied, the cast and crew were assured that the series would be renewed for a 6th season. In the 11th hour, NBC decided to fuck them and decided to cancel the series after all and re-edited the finale with a card that titled Sam would be leaping forever in time. Bellisario planned to have Sam leap into a space station in the distant future and Al to become a leaper to rescue. Sam leaked out of his side butthole, and he leaped out of his lifetime 4 times. And that is it, everybody. Wow. There's a lot of facts, a lot of stuff, a lot of fun. Quantum Leap is a good series, and I highly recommend, if you haven't already, checking it out. It's not... Remember, it's dated. Remember everything I said about the finale sucking, and it not necessarily crossing all its T's and dotting its I's for continuation. But the relationship between Dean Stockwell and Scott Bakula is exceptionally awesome and one of the best relationships on a series. And if you want to see Scott Bakula's greatest and really acting the fuck out of everything, really kicking ass, playing all these different kinds of characters and having so much fun, cannot recommend Quantum Leap enough. And it gets a full butthole from me. It's full butthole, wide open, yummy. I love it. Great stuff. So let me jump into the live motherfucking chat before we call it here. Fucking Tales of the Golden Monkey, Cutter's Goose. Damn, Phil, you really do your homework. Well, you know, I pull up the right pages to, I'm not researching is it research to look it up, copy and paste it, put it on a page and then read it? But I don't know if that's just the person who put that information there did the work but then again, if you're writing a report, isn't it kind of doing that? But whatever, I appreciate that. I like to be thorough. This might not be the only time that we talk about Quantum Leap. As I mentioned, Joe and Stephanie have both expressed interest on the 24-hour stream that they may want to talk. They may want to talk a little bit about Quantum Leap. Maybe as I'm looking for things to do, maybe watching the first episode of Quantum Leap might be a good live streaming kind of thing to do in that 24-hour stream. But we will see. Maybe an episode here and there. Maybe we'll take the 3-parter, the Lee Harvey Oswald 3-parter, and do a review of that later on in time too. So if I'm doing these general outlines of series, don't feel like did Quantum Leap, never going to talk about that again. I'm almost doing it so I cover these series, and then if I watch an episode here and there or a topic, doing a whole podcast on their relation, on Al and Sam's relationship, on a bunch of examples of it or something like that. But probably with Quantum Leap would be more specific for certain episodes. Then I can go back and do specific topic kind of things. But I want to do some of these generalized. I think the next one of these I might do, if people are curious and want to get ready for it, is a little hint. To the moon, Alice! Yes, that's right. I think I'm going to be doing the Honeymooners. Will probably be the next one of these kind of podcasts for Phil's favorite series type, my favorite series type things. Leaked out his side butthole. I'm dying. I'm definitely going to watch this show if Philly recommends it. It's not again. I would say just a not a perfect series. Definitely very late 80s, 90s, especially if you're someone that's on the younger side and aren't familiar with watching older shows. It looks a lot from a visual aspect of those Murder, She Wrote, Matlock, Greatest American Hero, Knight Rider, Magnum PI of the time. It's in line with all of those shows. It's just the sci-fi show of that time. And so it's almost like when you see effects from movies in the past when they were so cutting edge at the time, and the show in a lot of ways relies on those effects, or the movie relies on those effects, and then you watch in the time capsule and you're like, that looks really, really bad. There are times in Quantum Leap where you're like, yeah, that's a cheesy effect. Total cheesy effect. But it's almost understandable because of the time period that the show came out. So if you're someone that's younger going into watching the show, make sure you're watching at it with in the way I watched Dennis the Menace when I was a kid or something. You're watching an older show. You're watching something that is you're living in a pre-Oz world here. So keep that in mind. Episode to episode, I would say instead of, if anyone's interested in watching it, you could watch any episode of Quantum Leap. It's not something you have to start watching from the beginning. Scan some of the titles for the episode. Take any subject matter you're interested in. Oh, I like mystery stories. I like comedies. I like sports stuff. Take one of those things and watch a specific episode on it. Then if you like it, watch another episode. It's made so you can watch any episode at any time. I also know I didn't mention something that happens in the last season that's really cool, that you find other people that are around, the evil leaper. That's a very awesome aspect of the show that feels like so much more the first time you watch it, and then you go back, it's only 2 episodes. But really interesting wrinkle that they put in there. Great show, full butthole. Number 1 suggestion for a cast, Buffy. Talking about great shows like Quantum Leap that had shitty endings. Phil, Joe, Walking David, others should review Dexter. I have not watched Dexter yet. It's one of those shows that I was going to start watching, but in the same way that I think so many people complained about Lost to people because the ending was so bad to some folks, that some people never watched Lost and missed out. And I think, especially the first season, everything else in Lost can go fuck themselves. But this is a future podcast that's going to happen. Best single seasons of a TV show. And I would, spoiler alert for that podcast, Lost would be high there in my list. Season 1. And it ends so shitty that a lot of people never went back and watched that first season because they're like, oh, why would I watch it when the show ends shitty? Just don't go past season 1. Dexter is one of those shows that so many people came up to me and told me it's not worth it at the end, dude. The whole last season sucks. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. That it stopped me from getting into it. Maybe it's the show one day I'll get into because I definitely like that actor. I've been watching him on 6 Feet Under, and I've gotten a real appreciation for his talents. So I'd love to go watch that show now, having post watching 6 Feet Under. So I'll definitely check it out. Street Hawk, 80 Cheesy's finest. I'm 31. I love 80 show, especially the Knight Rider style. Awesome, Mo. You look like Mo. You could pass for 19, dude. You look super young. Talking about great shows like Quantum. Oh, shitty endings. Yep. I need to find the vampire one. Yeah, the vampire one is a good episode. If you, I want to say that's in the last season, season 4. I could actually tell you right now. Why not, everybody? List of Quantum Leap episodes. Give me all the episodes right now, motherfucker. I want to say the vampire episode is called Deliver Us from Evil. That would make sense. That would possibly make sense. I think so. Let me go to that episode. Lost was awesome. I didn't care how the ending was. Same thing with The Sopranos. Ending was impossible to do, in my opinion, because the show was so good. I would go with that, Mo, with Sopranos. And also it was impossible to do when you knew that what the original ending of The Sopranos got fucked in the butt, fucked right in the balls, because the actress that plays Livia died. The original end of The Sopranos, that's conceptualized by David Chase, from what I've heard from a couple of different sources, I'll try to find the sources for this, is that the original ending of the series was going to be him killing Livia at the last scene. And that it was all going to end with prediction of her possibly testifying against him, and then at the very end, him ultimately killing her. But because she died, they had to redo season 3. Then they kind of just projected it into a completely different direction. And then, as you said, there was no real way to end it after that point. Especially after Blue Comet episode and everything they did in Blue Comet. There's no real way you could end that episode because you set up so many more things. And I also think they simultaneously set that ending up because they expected to do a movie at some point. And they wanted to set it up so that they could not do a movie and do a movie. Dexter's a much Steve for the first few seasons, but I do get it. Oh, thanks, Phil. I think it's called, I'll tell you in 1 second for sure. It called Sam is a, what I say that was called? Chicago Coffin Arizona. Oh no, I'm sorry. The Gus Gungfitter Ghost Ship Roberto. Oh no, that's wrong season. That's season 4. Season 5. I love the episode Roberto. That's where he plays a Geraldo-like character. I said, Deliver Us from Evil. Yes. Okay, Sam leaps into Ray LaMotta, played by Brad Silverman, is perplexed to find that he has a happy future supposed to be. Oh, no, that's not Deliver Us from Evil. It is not. It is not. I will. Sorry, I'm like Googling at the same time. Quantum Leap vampire episode. Oh, cool. Blue Moon, Blood Moon. It was the episode Blood Moon is the vampire episode. There we go. So Dexter's a must see. So yeah, so I find The Sopranos in a lot of ways was kind of up against it. And I think Quantum Leap's just an example of NBC giving up on a show that had a very strong fan base that NBC would probably kill for right now. I don't have it in front of me, but let me take a look. I'm curious about that. Let me do my one last thing before we call it a podcast. See if Wikipedia has the ratings of the seasons. So I don't know, probably more the ratings of the episodes. But I mean, the show for the most part was getting decent enough ratings. I mean, it was hurting at the time period, but there's no excuse why it hasn't been brought back in some way, shape, or form. It is a marketable franchise that both the actors that were prime involved in it wanted to do it. And there's an outcry enough from a cult group of fans that would want to see it. Lesser things have been remade and done. Fuck, the Gilmore Girls are coming back. You couldn't bring back Quantum Leap. Fuller House is here. Fuller House is a thing. We live in a world that's a thing. And you couldn't bring back Quantum Leap. But whatever, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It was really great to get to talk about some Quantum Leap. More importantly, really awesome to get to talk to you guys. This is an example of me being like, I got something. I want to podcast about something. I'm going to podcast about Quantum Leap. Yeah, just because I need an excuse to come out. I'm going to do these type of things a lot more often, but a lot more series that I'm huge fans of. And so thank you, everybody. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Share the channel with a friend. You can always donate and help out the channel on Patreon or on PayPal. You can find all that description box in the description box below. Find our secondary channel, Dirty Issues Gaming. Join the Google Plus group on Friends of Phil, FOPs. Also found the link to the Discord group to keep the chat going. Check me out on Twitter at I Got Issues Man. Check Joe out at Dirty Locks. And I think that's everything. So, friends, Romans, countrymen. Sorry about the disconnecting in the middle. I had to leap out and do a duty. I had to do a duty. But lots of love to all of you guys. And here we go. The switch up. Let me figure out some music to play. This is a good one. I will talk to you guys. Oh, fuck you. Play something. Just play a damn song, you fucking asshole. I'm like, I don't know what song you play. I'm very, very sad. No, let's play this song. Talk to you soon.
Lost, I'm off and brought to the post edge back at the top. See you there when the bruise is clear. I'm clearly better when I'm dropped. Or through ram, man's got lost. Think on the bomb like an old man mother. Wants the hurry to get away. Say I'll flip you when you let them again. Hot for the words cover, mean to side, but bless each other. Get a life is the mess I see. Don't wanna live to what is me. Cause my inside medical clause. All I do, hope some rare. Ask me some laughter, I go when I care. All that's great, but it's not the truth. The only truth is talk to muse. Your very existence bothers me. You make me feel like a pothead. You take away something I love, the one thing that makes me happy to help my head. You pissed off the wrong person. I just wanna make you suffer for this. Yeah, payback's a bitch, a little bitch. Don't worry, cause I was in the end. I'm going to mindful win. Check your love for anger that passes. The reverse side, like a video, and a projectile. I struck up the shadow of a pit. As a mirror of myself. So I close my mouth, I hold my heart. I'm standing on sand, my legs spread apart. Care about the vine that is your line that used to be mine, so I dragged it down the line.